How are you doing, Steve?
Yeah, hello.
Very good. All right. Okay, Steve.
Yes.
Tell us about yourself once again, who you are, what you are working on, and where you're coming from.
My name's Steve Cuevas. I'm director of coffee for a freelance coffee project out in Newport Beach. Supposed to be focusing on coffee, but I'm kind of focusing on everything in the company, just like prices and all sorts of things, cafe structure. Spreadsheets is one of my favorite things that I realized I like doing. So yeah, just
How
numbers.
long have you been roasting?
I started in the end of 2016. Yeah.
Your first batch.
Yes.
So by end of 2016. Now coming into competition, because can you count how many competitions you've done? Please.
So I started in 2017, and I've been competing since 2017, and at least one to probably like two competitions every year, and occasionally I've done like brewers or coffee and good spirits. So almost, what is that, 11 years, 22, something in the probably like 25 competitions.
And on the roasting competition, anything that changed or anything that you apply, learn from previous competition, whether it's roasting or all this other competition you mentioned that you use for the roasting competition. What type of knowledge, tools, things that you used in the roasting competition?
What has changed? I think equipment has changed. So I think with that equipment changing, kind of roast theories have started to change around that. So kind of, whatever gets thrown at me, I kind of react to that and kind of work backwards in the sense of like, what do I have to do? And then just kind of reverse engineer it.
And how do you welcome a new set of knowledge or equipment or technology as someone who's roasted on a lot of different machines, competed bunch of different ways? Whenever something new happens or you learn something, do you try by yourself to see if it works or if it's BS or not? Or how do you welcome that new set of knowledge or new idea when it comes to roasting?
Yeah, I just keep an open mind. I think to me, I read everything and then I kind of do my own experiments. The thing about it too is like sometimes you'll do an experiment and you'll kind of like want to be like, oh, that didn't work out, but maybe it was, you as the person creating the experiment that was flawed and not the experiment itself. A lot of things come into play that have been changing. I think rehydrating coffee, I think, is another one that people started doing. Talking to Andrew Coe and telling him my experiences and then seeing what his experiments led him to kind of see. Again, you kind of just take everything in and you kind of see what you can apply, because I think as people who compete, I can sit there and pull an espresso shot in 18 minutes, but is this something we're gonna do in the coffee shop? So a lot of times when we're roasting competition coffee, that's taking us like, we're doing a 5-pound batch or a 10-pound batch to get the most flavor clarity out of it. When it comes back into we're doing production on Monday, I don't have that time to be doing 80 batches as opposed to trying to do the 30 batches that I normally do. So it's kind of the things you learn, they have to fit in two places, in competition or in actual life and practice. And so it's just each thing has its own place, I think.
But are you using this feedback loop to train your palate on any changes that happen that can help you in your day-to-day production roasting?
I feel like to me, I value cupping at the highest level. I think, you don't see world-renowned chefs with temperature probes in their eggs and trying to get the right temperature and the descending ROR. A lot of the times it's just kind of like roast the thing, cup it, and then kind of go back to the theory of like what happened in this batch and then go back. So to me, I just kind of, at the end of the day, cupping is my number one indicator of what is positive and negative. And not even that, but what changes happened in the coffee while doing different experiments, different roast lines.
And so how did you approach this competition on the S7X with the Panama Geisha, where you had to cup right after,
Yeah.
right?
So-
And then make adjustments. What was your strategy, your new philosophy of roasting?
So normally I have my coach Stacy from Swiss Water here, and I didn't. But so I came in here with the idea of like this year we don't have to have a roast plan, so I'm going to do slightly more developed with a blend with a lighter developed coffee, so it can kind of give it that little undertone and kind of create that nice layered effect. Halfway through doing my cupping, and on my second one, as I'm setting everything up, everything went out the window. I'm like, I don't got the time. I don't got the time to look at the roast lines. I can't sit there, because normally we'll do the roast plan the next day, and I can sit there and look at my lines, and like I'll spend all night just looking at these lines and planning it out. As I'm setting up the second cupping, I just threw everything out the window, and I'm like, I'm just gonna roast this coffee. And I was just like, it is what it is. Time management permitting, I was just like, you know, I have an idea, I'm gonna try to execute it, and if I hit it, I hit it. If not, well, we're gonna go out to eat dinner and just be with a bunch of friends. Yeah. I think that was the main goal, was just to, hang out with friends and just kind of be here and have the experience. And for me, winning is never the goal. It's always the accident. So to me, yeah, I just wanted to be around this group of people at this moment.
And so when you realized that your sample roasts were way something you really don't want to do, how did you accept the fact and have the guts to just be like, I'm not gonna do any of this. I'm gonna feel my assessments.
Yes.
And hope for the best.
The samples weren't off. It was just that I didn't have the time to make the plan for the production. So I was just like, you know, if you know me, I don't prepare. I think I still haven't read the rules. I think everyone kept making the joke of like, have you read the rules? And I'm like, honestly, I think after, when I get home, I'll read them. But I don't prepare. I just kind of show up and kind of do it. And occasionally, you know, that can end up to some not the best, because then I'm getting close to like breaking some of the rules. But, you know, I think I always like to say the least amount of effort for the maximum amount of outcome. But it's not necessarily true, because I'll be working at like 2 a.m. looking at roast lines. So in my mind, I think I don't put in that much effort, but I guess in reality I do. But at the end of the day, when your goal is not to win, I think you can kind of just shoot and let it land where it lands, and it's not my problem, it's the judges' problem to deal with my coffee. So that's where I'm at with it. I apologize.
Do you have any advice for competitors, not just beginning competitors, but even people who've been in competition for some season, as someone who competed more than 22 times in the past years? Any ways they can improve or still find the passion, not being discouraged by the results, and still showing up the next year, the following years?
Yeah, just have humility. I think, like if I was to say something, I would be like, when I started roasting in 2016, we entered our first roasting in 2017, and I won Cup Tasters in 2017. Then 2017 and 18, I won back-to-back Golden Bean, right? So I woke up at the top of the mountain, and I've slowly been walking down that hill. And it's like, I feel like it's the de-evolution, right? It's just not caring less, but it looks like that from your guys' point of view, where it's just going just slowly down the hill until like I can just go get rest. And I would just say, but having the humility of, you know, being around your peers, and for example, I took your cup tasters class, right? Like sometimes some people might be like, wow, you know, like I'm intimidated, or I don't want to have the humility of being like, well, I'm an ex-champion too, and like being taught by the current 2-time champion, you know? I'm just like, no, it's just go, ask people, hang out, learn. You know, I think we got an S15, and I'm like, oh, I should take your class on the roasting, because I know that. So to me, it's just like, ask your fellow peer if you have questions, because I feel like I probably asked everybody a lot of questions here, and I've also fielded a lot of questions, and if I can't, I try to find who can answer that. So to me, a lot of times, sometimes people go, you're here competing against people, but to me, I'm here competing with people. I'm no threat at this point of my age, so I'm just here to just hang around and be friends with everybody. And I would say be persistent. Every year, make one mistake less, and there'll be a year where you make the least amount of mistakes, and you'll take that title. And so to me, it's just keep coming at it, keep being persistent, and that it can happen.
You also help the other, as someone who competed so much, of course you're learning from others, but there's a point where it's time for you to share your knowledge so that we can all learn from each other. So have you been also experiencing that, where you see someone newer asking you questions, the same way you ask everybody's questions?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'll talk to anybody, and I feel like, to me, when I talk about cup tasters, I always tell them, I'm like, people see me drinking something, but they don't know what it is, and I'm like, I'll be drinking really dark French roast in between my cup tasters sets. And then I explain to them why, because it resets the palate. All these coffees are like medium roasted coffee, and so we're basically trying to identify acidities. And so I reset my palate with really dark coffee. And I would tell somebody, and they were just like, why are you telling people your secret? And I'm like, because if someone wins, somebody wins. Someone's gonna win anyways. And to me, it's just like, why gatekeep anything, right? Like, if I'm just an open book. I just like to talk. So
100%. And I think my desire is that to make whoever wins the US championship the world championship. I would love that the US champion receives slightly more love, slightly more support to show the world that, okay, we can really win the world instead of just going back home. And in the roasting is a lot of collaboration. That's why I really love this crowd. And I love coming every year, even as a MC or coach or just volunteer. So it's positive energies.
Yes.
All right, little fire round. Filter or espresso?
Filter.
Light or dark?
Light.
Sweetness or acidity?
Sweetness.
Body or clarity?
Body.
Fruity or chocolate?
I think a single Oreo chocolate can taste fruity.
Ooh, yes, 72%.
Yes.
Peru. Underdeveloped, overdeveloped?
Overdeveloped.
Clean or wild?
Wild.
Washed or natural?
I go natural.
Nice. Fast roast or slow roast?
Fast roast.
High heat or gentle heat?
High heat.
Convection or conduction?
Radiation.
Short development or long development?
Short.
Juicy, syrupy or creamy?
Juicy.
Orange juice or lemon juice?
Orange juice.
Orange juice.
I was like,
0% sugar, 10%, 50%, or 100% on your boba?
Oh, I don't know. I don't drink boba. 0%. I don't really like sugar.
Healthy.
Yeah.
Flatbirds or conical?
Flappers.
Stretching the Maillard or stretching the development?
Development.
Halogen or hot air?
Hot air.
Okay. Matcha or ube?
Ube, hands down.
Sipping or spitting?
Spitting.
Yes. And finally, home or Brussels in June?
Probably home, 100%.
We'll try to cover soon. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thank you.